Good day, everyone. My name is Seyyed Nasser Mousavi, and today I'm pleased to present our work entitled Exploring Teacher Burnout in Online English Language Instruction During COVID-19, Insights from Iranian Educators. The study was done by Dr. Vali, Mohammadi, and me, and today I'm going to present the gist of this study. Uh, Here you can see a short biography of the authors. As you remember, COVID-19 forced educational institutions throughout the world to shift to online teaching in general and online English teaching in particular. In those days, teachers faced increased overload, technological challenges, and also psychological stress. And burnout became a major concern affecting teachers' well-being and instructional quality. At the same time, understanding teacher burnout is essential for improving educational outcomes during, in fact, the crisis, namely COVID-19, and maybe in the subsequent similar crisis. In fact, the literature on teacher burnout begins with in fact, Friedberger's pioneering work in 1974 and was later expanded by Maslash and his colleague Jackson, based on which, in fact, burnout consists of three dimensions. The first one is emotional exhaustion. The second one is depersonalization, and the last one is reduced personal accomplishment. By the emotional exhaustion, in fact, we mean that feeling emotionally drained by work, and by DP or depersonalization, we refer to developing negative attitudes toward students. And finally, PA or reduced personal accomplishment, or RPA, let's say, feeling ineffective and unsuccessful as a teacher. These dimensions in general negatively affect teacher performance and job satisfaction. The teacher's burnout, or let's say the influence of, let's say, COVID-19 on teacher burnout, has been analyzed from different perspectives, and different factors, in fact, have been investigated. The most important of which are personal factors such as emotional intelligence, self-efficacy, resilience, and adaptability, and also contextual factors were also, in fact, already investigated, including teaching context, institutional policies, workload, curriculum demands, and finally administrative support. Burnout in online teaching has been investigated as well. Uh, all in all, research has shown that the pandemic increased burnout due to increased overload, technology-related challenges, lack of instructional support, online assessment difficulties, and emotional and psychological stress. And generally speaking, online teaching created new demands for teachers worldwide. Okay, in line with those studies just mentioned, and also to bridge the gaps of the existing literature, our study, in fact, aimed to investigate burnout among Iranian EFL teachers during COVID-19, examine relationship between burnout and demographic variables, identify major challenges experienced by teachers, and finally explore coping strategies used during the pandemic. Okay, to do so, in fact, four research questions were formulated. The first one, is there a significant relationship between teachers' level of education and burnout? The second one, is there a significant relationship between teachers' gender and burnout? The third one, what are the most important challenges caused by COVID-19? And finally, what strategies can help teachers cope with these challenges? In order to cover those research questions, in fact, we used a mixed methods approach, including both quantitative and qualitative phases. The study was longitudinal, in fact, in nature, and also to collect data, questionnaire and interview were used. This design, in fact, provided both statistical and in-depth insights into teacher burnout. Regarding the participants of the study, 200 Iranian EFL teachers, in fact, were included in the current study. They came from high schools, colleges, and also language institutes from Tabriz in Iran, and their age range was 25 through 45 years. Regarding their educational background, I mean teaching experience, in fact, they hold, in fact, BA, MA, and PhD, and the participants, or let's say the sample, was selected through convenience sampling method. To collect data, we have used different instruments. First of all, we use a burnout inventory designed by Maslash, including 22 items, and also for point Likert scale. We also employed a semi-structured interview, including 5 open-ended questions, and to analyze the data both quantitatively and qualitatively, we use SPSS, vivo, and also open and axial coding procedures. Okay, regarding the results, in fact, related exactly to what research questions I mentioned just now. About the first research question, if you remember, in fact, we were after any relationship between educational level and burnout, education level of the teachers and any possible burnout. The results reveal that no significant relationship exists between teachers' education level and burnout, and also, so we can claim that educational qualification did not predict burnout levels, and there is no significant relationship between educational level and teachers' burnout. Regarding the second research question, which in fact was after any possible relationship between gender and burnout. Again, there is no significant relationship between gender and burnout, based on which we can conclude that male and female teachers experienced similar burnout levels. Regarding the two last, in fact, qualitative research questions, major challenges identified through teachers who, for the first time, encountered, in fact, remote teaching or online teaching. Teachers reported and talked about their financial stresses, also heavy overload, and also technological stressors were main factors during COVID-19, in fact, teaching atmosphere. These emerge as the most frequently mentioned source of burnout by the teachers themselves through the interview. And also regarding the additional challenges mentioned by the teachers themselves, reduced communication with the colleagues, in fact, was the main challenge the teachers complained about. Weak student-teacher relationships because there were no face-to-face interactions between the teachers and the students. These relationships, in fact, was so weak. Social comparison and low professional status were among other additional challenges reported by the teachers themselves. And also pandemic-related anxiety and uncertainty, in fact, was the new consequence of online teaching. These factors negatively affected teacher well-being. And finally, regarding the last research question, which was after coping strategies to tackle, in fact, these challenges, teachers reported establishing daily routines and also maintaining social support networks and practicing stress management. And finally, adapting teaching methods, in fact, was among the most beneficial coping strategies reported by the teachers themselves. These strategies help reduce burnout and improve resilience. So based on those findings, we have got some conclusions here and some recommendations. Burnout affected teachers regardless of education level and gender. In fact, there were no relationships between education level and gender and teachers' burnout. the pandemic created stressors that were common across demographic groups, including their individual differences regarding their education level. If you remember, we told that our participants, in fact, hold bachelor, BA, MA, and PhD across, in fact, their education level. The burnout was not significantly different. And also regarding their gender, I mean, male and female, again, there was any significant difference was not reported. Regarding our second finding, financial concerns and excessive workload were major contributions to burnout. Cases reported long working hours, insufficient compensation, and also difficulty maintaining work-life balance. In fact, they could hardly draw a balance between their life and their work, or their career and their personal life. Regarding our third finding, which is technology-related challenges, intensified burnout, for example, internet connectivity problems, lack of digital literacy, online assessment difficulties, and reduced engagement with the students. Whenever there were held lots of classes at the same time, and this caused internet connectivity problems for the sake of, in fact, net traffic. And also most of the teachers complained about lack of digital literacy. In fact, they honestly confessed that they had no literacy regarding using online systems, and also online assessment difficulties were in fact available. And reduced engagement with the students was the last, and but not the least, in fact, consequence of online teaching. Regarding our last, in fact, finding, teacher burnout may negatively influence instructional quality, teacher motivation, student achievement, and teacher retention. Uh, these are, some of them are short-term, in fact, effects, and some of them are long-term effects. Supporting to compensate, in fact, these challenges and these negative influences. Some supporting, in fact, is needed for teachers. This study, in one way or another, has got some implications for different parties. For example, for education institutions, education authorities should provide technology training, improve online teaching support, offer emotional and professional support services. And these measures may reduce burnout levels in one way or another. Also, policymakers, based on this, in fact, the findings of this study, we can claim, or we can recommend policymakers to reduce excessive workload, improve compensation systems, develop effective professional development programs, and also create supportive teaching environments. Like all studies, these studies, in fact, suffer from some, let's say, shortcomings, and also there are some gaps that further studies can bridge those gaps. For example, they can investigate teacher burnout in different regions of our country, also some other countries and different education settings. And also, in fact, they can conduct comparative studies. For example, they can compare pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic burnout. They can compare online versus face-to-face teaching, and also they can compare public versus private institutions. And future, in fact, examine additional variables. Future researchers can examine some other variables, including emotional intelligence, resilience, self-efficacy, job satisfaction, and also organizational support can be investigated by some future researchers interested in the area of online teaching and the consequences of COVID-19 or any other pandemics. And also they can develop and evaluate burnout intervention programs. They can develop teacher support systems. They can in fact, create technology training initiatives, and also mental health promotion strategies can be adopted by the future examiners the future researchers as well. Okay, thank you for your attention.